wolf logo that they have.
You know, one of these days they're gonna bite you.
I'm already training them to bite whoever hurt Austin.
Hi!
Leafs Nation dead witness for Austin Lucas. Full biblical. Austin Matthews is the Leaf.
Why do I watch hockey?
Stressfully, mostly. Yeah, buddy. Leafs win 4-2 over the Minnesota Wild. Oh, I stayed up too late. I got up too early. The coffee I just drank did nothing, but I am jacked this morning. I have been listening to Work by Britney Spears for an hour and a half, and I am ready. I don't even care if the Leafs didn't look that good. I don't even care. Because even though they got outshot 19-37, and even though they didn't have Austin Matthews in the lineup, Mitch Marner and company are learning what Britney Spears learned a long time ago. You gotta work, Mitch. Marner, Mitch. I said Mitch. Because I am watching the first period of this game, and even though the Leafs are getting outshot, I'm going, oh my goodness. A Leaf defender pinched, the Wild are attacking, there's only one defender back, and almost every single time, oh, here comes a forward. Sometimes here comes two, and often it was Mitch. Oh, look, there's Hyman. Oh, look, there's Marleau and his center playing self. This is wonderful. We're probably gonna get to this later in the video, but it might have, against all ridiculous odds and logic, have been a good thing that Matthews didn't play in this game. Because we've been joking about the Leafs, oh, it's okay, we'll score our way out of problems. No. It hasn't been like that lately. Lately, win or lose, the whole team has been taking a nap, and it is we are going to Austin Matthews our way out of this problem. He's the only one doing anything. Even when he was busted up against Vegas, that JVR goal was all Austin. The Leafs didn't look the greatest in this one, and they really needed Freddie to bail him out, and he did. But I just wonder if the team kind of tightened up because they didn't have their security blanket that is their franchise player. First period, I was talking about how good the forwards look. Morgan Riley as of late. Puts it on, bounces off the end boards, and bounces off of Devin Dubnyk's skate and in. I keep saying Devin Dubnyk, I'm not going to shoot it again, and that sort of thing usually happens to the Leafs, so I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Now, it looked like Morgan Riley's goal, but after the play, it was determined that the puck hit Nazem Kadri's stick, and then hit the end boards, and then hit Dubnyk's skate and went in. And just as the Leafs might have missed a call against St. Louis, I think Minnesota might have missed a call here. That might have been a high stick. Now, some of you in the comment sections, and you probably think I don't even read them, but I saw your comments about how the Leafs had a call blown against Vegas. That Bozak goal that was disallowed because of a JVR high stick should have counted, according to some of you. While Bozak wasn't the one who high sticked that puck into the net, it was high sticked by a Leafs player. You're not allowed to high stick the puck and then have a member of your team play it. So it should have been blown dead. So in that scenario, it's really just pick which team you want to make mad. In this case, something happened to Minnesota, and Minnesota missed the call, and if you miss it, well, too bad for you. Also, it might not have been a high stick at all, so stop your whining. I learned something after that goal.
Hello, I'm baking pie for the fall fair with...
That is terrifying, Grandma. Where are these ads coming from, NHL? After 45 minutes of searching NHL.com, I discovered that Morgan Riley is tied for 6th in NHL scoring among defenders. Oh my god, I was...
I'm baking pie for the fall fair.
Shut up! You don't get to play ads when I don't get the information. That's what your site is for. Oh, piece of crap. Morgan Riley's doing good. Piece of crap. Sorry I asked. You are not gonna ruin my mood. The Leafs have won 2 straight, 10-7. What? You want a good site? One that doesn't bite? Morning, noon, and night? You better work, NHL.com developers. Piece of crap garbage. Zach Hyman with a bit of a giveaway, not looking his best. Jason Zucker escapes in front and taps it in. It's a 1-1 game. And Zucker... Yeah! Freaking guy scores his 4th goal of the season in the first period, and he looks like Wayne Gretzky breaking Gordie Howe's record. Hockey needs way more personality in it, but holy moly. Crappy way to end the period, but at least it's only a tie game. Second period, early on, a line that I'm pretty excited for gets a chance to shine. Because with Matthews out of the lineup, they had to get a little creative with the lines. Okay, Martin, Moore, Levo. Hey, Levo's back in the lineup. That's not a huge shock, though. Leo, Kadri, Nylander. I'm here for this. I actually like the idea of Nylander with Kadri. JVR, Bozak, Marner. I'm sure those guys are all happy to be back together. But Marleau between Hyman and Brown? I am here for. I have tickets. I have season seats for that. Zach Hyman with his patented spin and fire to a wide open Patrick Marleau in the slot. Has no one told these guys that he has over 500 NHL goals? Blast it past Dubnyk, his 6th of the season, and the Leafs are back up 2-1. You know, while we're talking about Morgan Riley having 13 points in 17 games, which is ridiculous, Connor Brown is on pace for 53 points. Zach Hyman is on pace for 43 points. For a combined $4.35 million for the next 3 seasons. Hyman's locked into 4. Hell, Connor Brown has the same amount of points as Patrick Marleau in the same amount of games. I know Matthews is hurt, just hear me out. I should have specified that my 4th line is Martin and Levo Devo on the wings of Bozak, Hyman and Brown on the wings for Marlowe, Leo and Nylander on the wings for Kadri, so that my first line can be JVR and Marner on the wings of Matthews. I'm just saying. Babcock's always like, well, you know, we didn't get Marlowe to play center. I didn't get a camera to make YouTube videos for a living, but I'm glad it happened. What if after I got 500 subscribers, I was like, but that's not why I got that camera. No, thank you, Sportsnet. I'd rather keep this a hobby. Point being, if Marlowe looks good at center, which I think he does, leave him there! And the Leafs head to the third period up 2-1, but it's not all good news. Leafs get outshot 6-9 in the first period. Not good, but nice. But then get outshot 6-14 in the second. For those of you keeping score at home, that's 23-12 for the Wild, and that's a bad time. Relying a little heavily on Frederick, aren't we? Look, Matthews is hurt, but the Wild are without Parise. This isn't an excuse. The Leafs have a good offense regardless. They should be able to get it done. I think they're going to pick it up, though. The chemistry just seemed off. The passes weren't good. In the neutral zone especially, the Leafs looked a little lost. Early in the third period, as a matter of fact, almost the exact same amount of time into the third period as Marlowe's goal was into the second period, Connor Carrick puts it on. Matt Martin being a jerk in front, it looks like he deflects it. He doesn't, and the puck goes into the net. Connor Carrick is first of the season. I will die on that hill again, and the Leafs are up 3-1. All right, 2-goal lead. I know it's not exactly the Leafs' forte, but let's go. Let's finish out this. Freddie! And we go to commercial break. This is the longest 2 minutes. The Danish guy, come on! Just minutes before Freddie Anderson gets crashed into, the net came unlodged. Oh no, that won't do, so we gotta drill a hole in the ice so that the net stays on better. Well, of course, mere moments later, Anderson gets bashed into. It looked like he hyperextended his blocker arm a little bit, and he's hurt. Now, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it his blocker shoulder that got hurt prior to last season? He said he felt fine after the game, and he obviously finished the game and was good for the Leafs. But I've mangled both my shoulders, not to the point where I needed surgery or this huge athletic recovery or anything, but they hurt. And the other thing is you don't always know how they're going to react until the next morning. This is going to sound stupid, but I took a grappling class a couple years ago and I got dropped really hard onto my right shoulder and it crunched and it hurt for the rest of the class. I was like, ah. Then later I felt something in my left shoulder go and I went, oh, and I stopped right away. And then after a couple minutes I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. Ooh, but my right one, oh, it still hurts. Next morning, right was fine, left couldn't move. I mean, by the time this video goes up, we should know Anderson's status, so hopefully this isn't terrible foreshadowing. And especially after the last week and a half or so, yes, Freddie has allowed a few stinkers, but for the most part, he has really reined it in. The team's problem has still been defense, and the worst part about it has been the offense has been disappearing. And here I was thinking they were going to score on 25% of their shots all season long. And you just had a feeling something like this was going to happen in this game. They showed it on the Sportsnet broadcast. Bruce Boudreau not happy with his team's effort of late, and he called him out. First shift, you see someone getting their smelly glove in Riley's face, Niederreiter hits Kadri from behind, and then Kadri gets in his face in the next shift, and there were just chippy things all night. One of the least chippy incidents is they drive to the net hard, and Anderson's arm just, that is not the guy I would have picked to get hurt. So now, down 2 with about 5 minutes to go, Minnesota needs a break. And they make Connor Carrick a sucker. He gets into it with Eriksson Ek in front of the net. Ek doesn't really do much. Carrick kind of sort of cross-checks him high, and that's a penalty. Now, I tweeted, oh my god, Carrick's getting the only call here. If you wanted to argue that Carrick shouldn't get a penalty there, okay, I have time for that argument. But what I can't really justify is Ek getting a call as well. If you watch the replay, what were you going to call him for? Roughing? Would have been one of the softest roughing calls of all time. Fact of the matter is, and I defend the guy till the end of time, you gotta be a little smarter than that, especially when you had the lead, especially in the third period, especially with that much time remaining. The lesson in all this is if you're going to shove a guy back, at least shove him low. Wild on the power play, and who's going to take advantage of this opportunity? Oh, not this guy again! Yes! Wild hockey all day! Someone must have told Jason Zucker he gets to go to Chuck E. Cheese if he scores a goal, because he gets his second of the game and loses his mind again. This one, though, bringing his team within 1 with about 5 minutes left in the game, yeah, totally justified there. You're justified always. Celebrate whenever you want. I just reserve the right to make fun of you a little bit. The Leafs don't fare much better in the second than they did in the third, getting doubled up 7 shots to 14, but Freddie Anderson manages to hold the fort, potentially on one shoulder. Connor Brown gets the empty netter. Hey, Connor, I like you. And the Leafs win 4-2. So, weird night without Matthews. How did the Leafs do? They gave Minnesota 4 power plays while only drawing 2. That's bad. The Leafs took 19 shots to Minnesota's 37. That's bad. They got out hit 27-18 despite never having the puck. That's bad. My first start of the game, Patrick Marleau. He had a goal. He had a team leading 4 shots on goal. And at center, which apparently he doesn't play and shouldn't play, he was a 67% in the face-off dot. Guys who I gotta scold, and I hate being a broken record here, but the JVR Bozak Marner line. Wasn't anything too glaring about their game. They got hemmed in their own zone a couple times. That wasn't good. But Marner was getting back. That was all right. But these guys finally get back together. Maybe there was a little bit of rust because they each had about 2 minutes of power play time. Marner had exactly 2 minutes of power play time. The only one of them that got a shot off, they combined for 1 shot, JVR, on a backhand in the first period, I'm pretty sure. Bozak played 15 minutes and 10 seconds. Marner played 15 minutes and 47. JVR played 12 minutes and 4 seconds. JVR has played less than 15 minutes for 6 straight games. In fact, he's only played over 15 minutes in 1 out of the past 12. I know the Leafs take a lot of penalties and he doesn't kill them, but that's James Van Riemsdyk. I just can't help but feel... No, I'm not even going to say it. You know what? The Leafs won! Minnesota, if I were you, I'd be pissed because your coach called out your team for not having any effort, and then they showed a ton of effort and they doubled up their team in shots, and they lost because of a funny bounce and a deflection. However, I would rest easy with the knowledge that if my team usually does that, they'll be fine. I would definitely be concerned that Patrick Marleau was beating the pants off of Ryan Suter and races to the puck, though. So that's how I would feel if I was you. Question of the game. Austin Matthews. Now, if you read Babcock's quotes about Matthews in print, it wasn't very good. Oh, I have no clue when he's going to be back. Trust me, watch the video. It's a little better. I've sort of come to understand this about Babcock. He doesn't like being asked about injuries. And he's made the point that he doesn't ask players if they're injured or not because there have been problems in the past of coaches pressuring players into playing when they shouldn't. Babcock's frustration with this situation is just, look, why are you asking me? Ask someone else. Basically, he gets told who is good to go in the lineup. He doesn't care what percent you are. Babcock doesn't do that. He just goes, are you a player or aren't you a player? With Game 17 of the season in the books, is it really time to be rushing Austin Matthews back? See, I wanted Matthews to get sat for this game so that he could play in the home-and-home against Boston, but Jonas Siegel made a really good point. If he sits out this back-to-back against Boston, he'll basically get 9 days off. Whatever's ailing him should hopefully be fine by the end of those 9 days. Or we let him play back-to-back nights against Boston, who can be a chippy team, and risk him getting hurt, something that's going to persist for the rest of the season. I think if Matthews isn't 100% ready to go, you sit him for at least 1, probably both games against Boston. How are they supposed to win games without Matthews? Well, I bring you to the Boston Bruins daily faceoff page. Okay, outside of 2/3 of the first line, most of these players are rumors. I refuse to believe that they're even real. So just like Minnesota with Parise, the Leafs aren't the only team in the league that have an injury. In fact, last year, the weird thing about them is they were the only team in the league without any injuries. Riley missed like 2 weeks and the sky was falling. So that's my question of the game. I think it's a good one. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. And if you haven't already, please, I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. Tell all your friends that the Leafs are 10-7 and that there will be a brand new Panago Pizza Steve Dangle podcast later today. Fun.